what's going on, everybody? It's me again, Going to Blue Dude. And hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I do college football and college basketball videos every single day. And I don't just cover West Virginia sports. I am a West Virginia fan, but I cover everybody. Having said that, I will warn you, this is going to be a West Virginia video. So if you're a non-West Virginia subscriber, you're more than welcome to stick around. I'm just letting you know. Yeah, things are getting a little bit dicey in Morgantown when it comes to basketball. Time is running out as far as getting some quality wins to get to the big dance. 7 games ago, West Virginia was 13-2. They were as high as a 5 seed in bracketology, and now they're 13-9. Why? Well, it's because they've gone on a 7-game losing streak, and it all started with that road trip to Kansas. We got blasted. We were hanging in there in the first half. In the second half, Kansas just mopped the floor with us. Final score of that was 85-59. We were basically ran out of the building when it came to that Kansas game. After that, we got Baylor at home, and Baylor was actually struggling. It was either like a 4 or 5 game losing streak. Well, playing West Virginia cured that. That knocked that losing streak right out the window. Yes, Baylor did beat West Virginia in Morgantown 77-68. After that, at Texas Tech, which I think we played fairly well. That's just a tough place to win, especially when Texas Tech is good, and they are good this year. We got beat 78-65. After that, now this one really bothered me. We got beat by Oklahoma 72-62. I thought we were the better team, and it was a home game. That loss surprised me. That one made me raise my eyebrows. After that, we went on the road to a very tough Arkansas. Arkansas is a sleeper Final Four team, and I think we hung in there with them as well. 77-68, they outlasted us. And look out for Arkansas in the big dance. They'll do some damage. After that, we had to go on the road to Baylor, and I think we actually played better this time on the road against Baylor. Final score 81-77. It's still a loss, though. A loss is a loss. Doesn't matter if you get beat by 1 point or 21 points. It's still a loss. And finally, we come back home, and yes, we get beat again by Texas Tech 60-53 to complete the sweep by the Red Raiders. So now our record went from 13-2 to 13-9. We can't buy a win right now, and we only have 9 games left, and it has to start tonight against Iowa State. Luckily, we are a 2-point favorite. Don't ask me, I don't know how, but Vegas has West Virginia as a 2-point favorite. Iowa State is 16-7. They're not ranked right now, but at one point, they were close to being a top 10 team. So don't sleep on Iowa State. They're a pretty good team. They average 68 points per game, just like West Virginia. That's what West Virginia averages, 68 points per game. But their defense is better than West Virginia's. They only allow 61 points per game, whereas West Virginia allows 65.9 points per game. So they do have a better defense. This game is in Morgantown, so that might give West Virginia the edge. I'm telling you right now, if West Virginia does not win this basketball game tonight, we're not getting in the big dance. Point blank. And here's the thing. I didn't think West Virginia was a big dance team this year. I didn't think we were going to get in at the start of the season. But they built up my confidence, got up to 13-2. Hey, maybe we are going to make the big dance this year, because in my head, I thought this was a rebuild year because we lost so much from last year's team. But hey, 13-2. I'll take it. In a rebuild year, we're going to the dance. Well, 7 games later, maybe not. Maybe this really was a rebuild year. So I think it got fans' confidence higher than what it should have been, and now they're mad because we're probably going to be the only Big 12 team, or one of the only Big 12 teams, to miss the big dance. Well, first of all, there's still hope. Second of all, you should have saw this coming. This was a rebuild year. I tried to tell everybody we weren't going to be that good of a basketball team. It was that hot start that kind of fooled everybody. Now some West Virginia fans, the game has passed Bob Huggins. You know, he can't win over the players. They've lost his respect. You're out of your mind. How many times has West Virginia gone through this? And then we've had a great year. That's just how it is at West Virginia. We can't put a great team on the court year after year after year. That's just not how it works at West Virginia. So yes, we're going to have these bad years every once in a while under Bob Huggins. It doesn't mean the game has passed him by. Now let's look past Iowa State. After that, at Oklahoma State. That is a winnable game, but it is on the road. Oklahoma State is 11-11. The last time we played them, we beat Oklahoma State, but this time, like I said, it's on the road. They average 69.2 points per game, so their offense may be a tad better than ours, but their defense, we have a better defense. They allow 66.4 points per game. So we can beat Iowa State tonight. That's a must win. Maybe that'll give confidence to some of our guys, and we can go on the road and beat an inferior Oklahoma State team. Then after that, at Kansas State, another team we're capable of beating. We've already beat them once, but it is on the road. Kansas State, 12-10. They average 67.5 points per game, so their offense is even worse than ours, but they have a pretty good defense. They only allow 63.3 points per game. So if we can win tonight, we have to win tonight. That could start at least a 3-game winning streak. But after that Kansas State game, we get Kansas at home. They are 19-4. They average 80 points per game. That's a really good offense. They allow 68.3 points per game, so we actually have a better defense. And it's at home. Maybe by then we'll have confidence if we beat Iowa State, Oklahoma State, and Kansas State in a row. Building confidence. It's at home. That could be a winnable game if all that stuff comes together. Then after that, we go on the road to TCU. They're 15-5. Not a very good offense. They score 68.8 points per game. Pretty good defense, though. They only allow 62.5 points per game. TCU is up and down, though. Don't let that 15-5 fool you. They're a very shaky team at times, so that's a winnable game as well. After that, at Iowa State. We already know they're 16-7. If we don't beat them in Morgantown, we're definitely not beating them at the Hilton. That is a tough place to win. But if we're on a roll, building this momentum, it can be a winnable game. After that, Texas at home. Texas is 18-6. Not a very good offense, 68.7 points per game. Number 1 defense in the nation, though. That's what Chris Beard does. Defense. They only allow 55.8 points per game. It is at home. That's always a winnable game. Any game in Morgantown is winnable. After that, on the road to Oklahoma, they beat us in Morgantown. They're only 13-10, though. Why did they beat us in Morgantown? They average 69.7 points per game and allow 64 points per game. So, decent offense and decent defense. And finally, the last game, TCU. 15-5, like I mentioned, but it's a home game. For us to get into the big dance, here's what needs to happen. Number 1, we have to win tonight. We have to. After that, we have to beat Oklahoma State on the road. We have to beat Kansas State on the road. Then let's say beat TCU on the road. That's a must. And then win 3 of the last 4. That's how we get in. If we can pull off a win against Kansas at home, that'll help as well too, but that's not a must win. So all in all, yeah, we need to win probably 7 out of our last 9 games to have a shot to get into the big dance. And we still might have to win 1 game in the Big 12 tournament. All is not lost yet. All is not lost, but the deck is definitely stacked against us. Here's the guys that need to make it happen. First of all, we already know Taz Sherman, our best shooter, 18.9 points per game, 43.2% from the field, 35.9% from three-point. I need that to go up. If he can go over 40%, I'll be much more confident. Right behind him, Sean McNeil, 13.5 points per game. He needs to bump that up to 15 points per game. 43% from the field, 37.1% from three-point. I'm okay where his three-point percentage is. Not spectacular, but still better than Taz. Taz needs to get his up to 40. Jalen Bridges, our down low support, 9 points per game. He needs to put up more boards and get those second chance buckets, those easy, one-ups. Push that up to maybe around 12 points per game. 43.6% from the field. He's actually a pretty decent three-point shooter for a forward. 32.1 point percent. 5.1 rebounds a game. Bump that up to 7, and we're good to go. I think Malik Curry is coming along, 8 points per game, 43.7% from the field, but his three-point shooting is terrible, only 15.8%. Buddy, you got to bump that up to 30%. Come on. And then, of course, Gabe Osabuohene. He chews up clock and gives some people much-needed rest. He only averages 5.2 points per game. I really wish he could do those rebounds and put up those easy buckets. Maybe get his average into double digits. Because he does get 5.9 rebounds per game. 44.9% from the field. Terrible free throw shooter, though. 42.9%. Killing us, Gabe. And then finally, Kedrian Johnson, only 5 points per game, 40.2% from the field, and he's also a terrible three-point shooter, 21.4% from three-point. And we also need better bench support. Come on, bench. We need you. Those guys cannot play the entire 40 minutes, and West Virginia have a chance to win these basketball games. We need your support. So do like Bob Huggins said, hit the gym, practice your shooting form, because our offense has to get better. Our defense is fine. It's fine. It's not elite, but it's fine. And we don't do press Virginia like we used to. So we need some offensive production badly. Get your butts in the gym and practice shooting. It's called Shooting 101. And you're not going to get better unless you practice, practice, practice. That's all I got for you for this show. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next show.